Why is it in Japan many people have no children? Why the population is going down? Why women having so few children? Are you worried about there being so few children in Japan now?
He's in a rush. She doesn't know.
She doesn't know.
Yeah.
Samimasen, you speak English? Eigo? Okay. Still really don't understand why Japanese people are having only 1.3 children.
Yes. I don't know. Why?
Well, the weird thing is that many women want to have children, but I don't know why like the current society is struggling with low birth rate.
Young people has maybe losing some expectation for their bright futures, I think. Working long time is a very easy solution. You can so easily escape from such kind of discussions.
We're talking about why in Japan population is going down because people don't get married, people don't have children. Why?
I don't know. It's taxes problem.
Tax problem?
Yes, taxes problem.
I love Steven!
Just from your perspective, first of all, I mean, are you aware that in northern Italy that there is a low birth rate? Is this a surprise to you? Why here?
Yeah, I'm not really surprised about this. Yeah, maybe the people think that they cannot give a good future to the children.
So I think having a career is not easily combinable with children, especially in modern careers where you have flexible work hours, which means no one checks on your hours, but also no one caps your hours, so you can work a lot.
Pourquoi les gens avoir moins d'enfants?
Honnêtement, j'ai aucune idée.
Why? Why is this happening? I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe they think that they can live a happy life if they have the children because they have to work just to have a baby, you know?
After 50 years of unsustainably low birth rates, countries in Europe and Japan are fast becoming inverted worlds with too many retirees for the shrinking workforces to support. If we look at Italy, for example, in 2019 there were around 1 million people aged 50 who will be retiring in around 20 years' time. Then, if we look at the number of newborns who, in around 20 years' time, will be entering the workforce to support these retirees, they're less than half. Any large gap between the number of newborns and the number of people they will have to support into retirement is significant socially and economically. Given that these gaps are being caused by long-term low birth rates, I decided to call any shortfall in workers birth gaps. I wanted to show these birth gaps on a series of regional maps. First, I coloured any regions that did have more babies than 50-year-olds green. But in regions where there were too few children being born, I used increasingly dark shades of red, with the darkest red meaning there are less than half the number of babies being born compared to the older people they would need to support. And at the centre of any region with a birth gap, I put a gaping black hole proportional to the drop in the number of children.
Oh wow, it's a big gap.
It's kind of scary.
Yeah, that's crazy. Wow.
Oh.
Gosh, that is major, isn't it?
It's like a shock. It's for me. It's like a shock. What are we making with our future? We are crazy. Yeah? This is not good.
It's clear. It's a very powerful transformation.
But now I want to show you, let's jump to somewhere else.
Deutschland, yeah.
Germany.
Yeah. Auf Wiedersehen. Yep.
Wiedersehen.
While this trend only affected parts of Europe 50 years ago, by the 1990s, birth gaps had spread to every corner of the continent. Even Scandinavia, a region known for its gender equality and parental benefits, wasn't immune. In Denmark, a country that offers 1 year paid leave and free education, the birth gap had reached 30%. There had even been a campaign. do it for Denmark.
Kan sex redde Danmarks fremtid? Danmark har et problem, og der fødes ikke nok børn til at forsørge den aldrende befolkning. Skiftende regeringer har ikke kunne løse problemet, men der må være en løsning. Do it for Denmark.
But it's not only Denmark in this coveted part of the world. In 2019, Erna Solberg, Prime Minister of Norway, became the first global leader to address her people on the birth gap crisis.
Norge trenger flere barn. Vi nordmenn får stadig færre barn. For å opprettholde folketallet må hver av oss kvinner få litt mer enn 2 barn i gjennomsnitt. I dag er tallet 1,6. Da blir det relativt sett færre unge som skal bære en stadig tyngre velferdsstat på sine skuldre.
Elementary school teachers across these countries are starting to notice.
The school leaders are talking about less kids coming in the next few years, so obviously we're going to have less classes and less jobs for teachers.
Do you think people should be talking about this more?
I think so, yes. I think so. Because me as a young teacher, I'm not thinking about this, but maybe I should do more.
Some countries like the UK and France, while following this same trend, had smaller birth gaps of less than 20%. But what was most concerning was some of the larger countries in Europe. Some regions of Spain had 50% birth gaps, while parts of Germany and Italy had 60% birth gaps, meaning for every baby being born there will be more than 2 50-year-olds to support into retirement. In 2016, the Italian government decided it was time to step in.
Primo Fertility Day, la prima giornata nazionale di sensibilizzazione e informazione dedicata alla prevenzione della salute riproduttiva.
They quickly found out that people don't like governments telling them to have more children. Meanwhile, businesses are starting to notice.
Chi di un arapallo, anche caratteristiche sono mancati, non si sono ripresi nel tempo, nel senso che...
By 2020, Italy's birth gap had reached 56%, and every country in Europe except Iceland had more 50-year-olds than newborns. But to find the world's largest birth gap, we need to look elsewhere. South Korea is winning this race to the bottom with a frightening 69% birth gap.
In other news, latest data shows South Korea's total fertility rate fell to a record low last year. Kim Il-sung reports.
South Korea's total fertility rate fell to 0.98 in 2018. The falling fertility rate comes despite the Korean government's efforts to tackle the problem, including subsidized childcare leave, free nurseries, and cash stipends.
With children becoming a thing of the past in South Korea, a new form of parenting has taken over, raising what they're calling the dog child.
These mothers and fathers are willing to spare no expense to give their dog children only the best. Dogs are like their children, except they're a whole lot cheaper.
While in Japan, there's even an organization that lets young people try out being a parent for a day.
家族留学という取り組みを中心に展開をしています。そしてその場でわからないことはどんどん聞いていきます。子供が泣いた時どうするんですかとか、子供が生まれて変わったことって何ですかとか、どうしてこの人と結婚したんですかとか。
Unlike Europe, where people have the shortest working weeks and longest vacations anywhere, people in Korea and Japan are struggling with work-life balance. And that makes having children an extra challenge.
We don't have any role model in a real world. It's really rare to see how children are raised. We are just really worrying about it. We don't have specific image, so the issue is in our mind, I think.
I think in Japan, marry means end of life for the humans.
Japanese work a lot. Like, for example, until like 2 or 3 a.m. I think I'm kind of a woman who wants to pursue the career, but I feel really pessimistic about it because I feel like I should give up my career or my dreams for having children.
Despite the vast differences in culture between Europe and Japan, the world's first signs of ultra-low birth rates emerged in both places at the exact same time, and yet no one has found a connection. It's hard to accept it's just one big coincidence.
Red means low birth, black holes mean very low birth. That's pretty bad.
何なんだろうってずっと考えてんだけど、この2年経って分かんないのよ。何だったんだろうって。少子化になる原因って何だったんだろう。
He's been thinking, maybe this reason, maybe this reason, maybe this, but still he doesn't know.
This didn't happen overnight. The data has been there for decades. What worries me is that for some countries, it may be too late already. Even if the number of babies were to increase, it wouldn't make any difference until they grow up and start working. This feels like a trap, a birth gap trap.
We know you're responsible for the Do It So Denmark campaign.
Yes, but actually it's Eva Lundgren who is responsible for that campaign. Let me see if she's there right now.
I appreciate it.
But she'll be here in around 15 minutes.
So we'll do it right here.
Yeah, we can do it here.
So what was the inspiration for deciding to make this campaign?
At the time of this campaign, there had been small stories in the serious newspapers, not on front page, but on page 10, 12, 13, that this was a serious issue. It's not a sexy topic, really, but we can make it sexy, so yeah.
Well, you can.
Yeah, I can.
Bevis, du har undfanget et barn, og vind 3 års forbrug af Do It for Denmark.
Why is this happening?
It seems that when my mom was a young mom, her life certainly changed, but not that much. And in our time, it's more like this is a shift in your life that's serious. You have so many things you want to do. You want to educate yourself. You want to find the right partner. You want to have fun. So it seems that the time is never right.
I'm kind of not ready.
Hell no. Hell to the no. I'm not ready to have kids.
I've always thought about having kids. I'm also not in a place where I'm married or pregnant or thinking about getting pregnant. So maybe in a few years that'll be another discussion.
All of my friends are head down into their career. None of them are married and none of them have kids. Everybody's just career driven. So I feel so much pressure from my family and Kenny's family. They're constantly asking us, when are you going to have kids? And just trying to explain to them, I just really want to establish my career first.
I'm still very much focused on getting at a certain place in my career before thinking of, my brain cannot even think about that yet.
I've always wanted to have children. I've always wanted to have children while I was young, but not now.